Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the October 27th, 2025 regular meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Wappinger. Thank you for bearing with us with our change of setting today. We were preempted due to early voting, so welcome to the Town of Wappinger Justice Court. With that, may Town Clerk Paoloni please call the roll.
Councilman Beal.
Here.
Councilwoman Bettina.
Here.
Councilman Phillips.
Here.
Councilman Casella.
Here.
Supervisor Cavasini.
Here, in just a moment, we will be joined by Deacon Salamone from St. Martin de Porres for a invocation and moment of silent meditation, which will be in memory of Chelsea resident Daniel Coughlin, who unfortunately passed away this past week. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Coughlin family during this tragic time. Please join us with the Town Board in rising for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us bow our heads and call upon God to bless this gathering. Eternal Father, loving God, creator of everything, we invite your presence upon this gathering this evening. May we find during our time together a common good, a greater purpose, and many productive means to bring glory to God. May we be united in heart and mind as we lift up our prayer. We seek your guidance as we live the daily challenge that we face. Bless all our endeavors and let us hold our heads high and do good in your name as we work for the betterment of our community. You remind us of the many challenges we face in our world, in our community, and in our country, and we give thanks for this calling upon our lives, and may we each welcome any task we are called upon to do. Give us strength to be your witnesses. You are good, O Lord, and we thank you for preserving the freedom we have in this great United States. Bless us now, O Lord, and fill us with your energetic power to fulfill your will for the betterment of all our constituents. Amen.
Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you, Deacon. Moving along to our agenda, folks. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Phillips, second by Councilman Casella. All in favor? Aye. Motion is passed. Do I have a motion to acknowledge the minutes of October 14th, 2025?
Moved. Second.
Moved by Councilman Phillips, second by Councilman Casella. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Folks, we have two public hearings today regarding our proposed 2026 budget. First public hearing is on the proposed benefit assessment rules for special improvement districts and special improvement areas for fiscal year 2026, and to hear any objections thereto. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Beal, second by Councilman Phillips. All in favor?
Aye.
Folks, if anyone would like to speak on the benefit assessment rolls for the special districts, you may do so at this time. Seeing none, do I have a motion to close the public
I
hearing?
make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Bettina, second by Councilman Casella. All in favor?
Aye.
Moving along to our second public hearing. This is a public hearing on proposed budgets O&M, or operation and maintenance charges, rates and rents for special improvement districts and special improvement areas for fiscal year 2026. Do I have a motion to open?
Make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Bettina, second by Councilman Phillips. All in favor? Aye. Do we have any members of the public wishing to speak on O&M charges? Seeing none, do I have a motion to close?
Motion to close it.
Moved by Councilman Casella,
Second.
second by Councilman Phillips. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public hearing is now closed. Moving along to our public portion of the agenda. Do I have a motion to open?
I'll make the motion.
Move-
Second.
Moved by Councilman Phillips, second by Councilman Casella. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Folks, if you'd like to speak on agenda items, you may do so at this time. You have 3 minutes. Seeing no members of the public wishing to speak on agenda items, do I have a motion to close the public portion?
Second.
Moved by Councilman Casella, second by Councilman Phillips. All in favor? Aye. Public portion is now closed. Moving along to our consent resolutions. Resolution 2025-186. Resolution accepting the proposed Atlas Wellfield improvements and to declare intent for lead agency and classify project as an unlisted action. Resolution 2025-187. Resolution declaring October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the town of Wappinger. Resolution 2025-188. Resolution declaring October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the town of Wappinger. Resolution 2025-189. Resolution declaring property as surplus town property. Resolution 2025-190. Resolution authorizing payment for emergency town hall septic pump station and control panel replacement. Resolution 2025-194. Resolution acknowledging celebration of Diwali in the town of Wappinger. Do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second. Moved by Councilman Casella, second by Councilman Beal. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Thank you very much. The consent resolutions have been adopted. Moving along to our non-consent resolutions. Resolution 2025-191. Resolution adopting final benefit assessment rolls for special improvement districts and special improvement areas for fiscal year 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Phillips, second by Councilman Beal. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Resolution 2025-192, resolution adopting capital budgets, O&M charges, and water and sewer rates and rents for special districts and special improvement areas for fiscal year 2026.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Casella, second by Councilman Beal. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
The resolution has been adopted. Resolution 2025-193, resolution approving preliminary budget for fiscal year 2026 and directing a public hearing therein.
I'll make the motion.
Moved by Councilman Phillips,
Second.
second by Councilman Casella. Any discussion? Seeing none, all...
So just a quick comment. So just so everybody's aware that, this is, again, it's preliminary, so some changes can be made at this point in time. It happens every single year, so it's not something that's new. We know there's a couple of line items we do need to change, that we need to work with the board. Some of the salaries, as an example, have to be updated in here. So I will tell you that Councilman Phillips and myself spent quite a bit of time with our controller, about 5.5 hours going through a lot of line item details. So I appreciate our controller's support here. We had some questions looking for extra lines of detail, things like that. So we did that. And what we're going to do, Chris and I, is we came up with some questions, things. We'll pass it out to the board, let them know some of the questions and issues that we potentially have with the budget. But the bottom line is what the supervisor proposed, the 1.82%. We still want to get to that. It's just a question of what's under the covers. So we'll take a look at that.
I trust that you enjoyed the overall budget.
Oh, yeah.
And you have no problems with the overall budget. And
Yeah,
what you're
just some
talking
changes.
about is a specific line item or two that you're referring
There's a
to, that
couple
you
of
have
them.
questions. But no, you enjoyed the spirit of the document and that there are no substantial flaws or issues that you see with that.
There's just some questions we have that I think we just need to discuss. And the other thing we got to make sure we're cognizant of is that we continue to lower the tax rates.
Absolutely.
We're very fortunate to be in great shape for sales tax revenue and also mortgage tax revenue, so that helps make our jobs a little bit easier. So again, as we continue to budget pretty conservative on the estimates for those things. So again, we just want to make sure that, again, we just keep that in mind as we go forward, not only with this budget, but future budgets.
Absolutely, and that's what we worked on last year, and obviously made a very realistic 2025 budget, which proved to be successful. And again, I just want to make sure that we have on the record that, again, you're just doing standard due diligence and that there's no issues, flaws, or anything of substantial concern, correct?
Nothing.
Thank you. All right.
Did you have anything, Chris? I'm sorry.
No, all right.
Just because the way it came out maybe sounded a little different.
Well, no. So it's
So-
just, there are certain things, like we talked about salaries and a few other items, line items we need to take a look at. Medical buyout, things like that, we need to look at. So again, that's something that's got to be decided by the board.
Absolutely, and it needs to be decided all together as a board. Absolutely. Very good. Any further discussion on the preliminary budget?
I just want to thank the supervisor for preparing his budget, and my thanks also to my colleagues from the 3rd and 4th Ward for spending a significant amount of time reviewing the different line items. We work together as a team with respect to our budgets each year. We don't agree on every single thing. I think that's a healthy approach. But the bottom line is, I think the one thing we can agree on is we do our best to minimize the tax impact on the residents of the town of Wappinger. Our tax rate obviously is lower than most, if not all, comparable towns. And I do understand that assessments continue to rise, right? So valuations go up, and when valuations go up, tax rates should come down. And that is a balance that we're very cognizant of. We really take a conservative fiscal approach to spending by also exploring other revenue streams with respect to projects that we do in this town. And I think we've been innovative with respect to our grant sources. And there's more to come as we continue to move on and take on special projects. We're very specific when it comes to how are we going to pay for this. So I just want to thank my colleagues, all my colleagues really, on this board that have independently looked at this document. And there will be some changes, but I think we can agree that at the end of the day, we're still going to be under the tax cap, and our tax rate is still going to be lower than any town in southern Dutchess County. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we had a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Everything.
Preliminary budget has been adopted. Approving the preliminary budget and then directing a public hearing on the final budget. Yes. Yeah, so it goes from the tentative to the preliminary, and then the public hearing is on the final budget for clarification.
And just for clarification, with respect to the final budget adoption, the date, Mike?
November 20th.
November 20th. So in the past, we traditionally haven't waited till the last hour of the last day to adopt the final budget, but we do have flexibility between now and November 20th to adopt a final budget, and that is a statutorily set deadline.
And we'll work together to come to a conclusion on this budget.
I love the undertones here, folks. Okay, thank you very much. Moving along to items for special consideration and new business. We have had a lot going on in the town. And again, that is no different than any other month. No different than any other month. And, the day-to-day that happens in this town hall, I have to give a special shout out to our town staff and our employees and people that are here day to day, because they're the ones getting the job done and improving the quality of life of our residents. We also need to give a special shout out, as we always do, to our first responders, as the past 24 hours has been a difficult one for them. Last night, our first responders, as well as members of our town hall staff, were on scene for a devastating fire on Smith Crossing Road, which resulted in a complete loss of that structure, that residence there, but fortunately no loss of human life. Earlier today, we also dealt with a head-on collision on Myers Corners Road. So again, please continue to keep our first responders in your thoughts and prayers. They continue to deal with very, very difficult situations in this town. And again, our town hall staff that often responds to many of these incidents across the town. So I ask that you remember and think of them. In terms of additional things that are going on around town, we had a very successful trunk or treat and haunted house at Drexel House Park this past weekend. Councilman Casella joined myself, our county legislators, our deputy supervisor, and hundreds of our residents for that event. It was quite successful. And again, special shout out to Parks and Recreation. Jessica, as always, a good job. We encourage all of our residents and families to come to Town Hall this Thursday, October 30th, at 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock for trick-or-treating in Town Hall. Our town staff will be ready to go to greet our families. It's a fun thing that we brought back last year, and we're going to continue to do that. So it's a great way for our families and our youth to connect with our town team. Obviously, earlier in the year, we as a town board adopted a resolution to purchase a roll-off truck for the recycle center, ending years of that ending up in the red. So now we're bringing that process in-house, and that roll-off truck arrived today. Our highway superintendent sent us a nice video. Councilman Casella joined us out there to welcome it, and that will be getting out onto the road very soon. We have the containers. We're ready to go to start changing the process there. We're also working with the deputy highway superintendent and the highway superintendent on, again, how we operate the recycle center. Right now, obviously, we're changing the model from third-party independent carter that would bring the refuse up to the county burn plant or to wherever they would bring it to. We are looking at what other municipalities do in terms of accepting refuse. Some of them have vendors that actually pay the municipality for all of the e-waste, let's say, that's collected on site. So we're looking at e-waste as a potential option to allow back at the recycle center. We're looking at revenue sources with tires and with paper, and ensuring that not everything is ending up either at the county burn plant or a landfill. We're trying to make sure that these are properly recycled, and at the end of the day, there's revenue that comes in from the town, and that keeps the recycle center affordable for our residents. So we're looking at updating that model there. The sign shop, as Councilman Casella got a tour of today, is fully operational, and they're out replacing the the parking ordinance signs throughout the town. So some of you folks might remember when the town board took action to amend the wintertime parking ordinance from banning parking from November 1st to April 1st. The town board took action to amend that comes into effect only during winter weather advisories, and those are published by myself and the town, and they go out. They are declared by which agency, Councilman Beal? By the National Weather Service, typically?
Yeah. So we changed our local law, as other municipalities did, to accommodate folks that sometimes need to park on the roadways, so that when there's a declared weather event, I believe it's either an advisory or a watch, I gotta look at the law, that's when we can't park on the streets,
Yes.
right?
So our signs obviously were not reflective of that, and we did not want to undergo a substantial expense. And so by us actually having this sign shop and the capabilities of doing these signs in-house, we are saving a significant amount of money. And you'll notice that some of these signs are being pulled down. That's not vandalism, in case you happen to have seen one at the beginning of your road and it goes missing. The town is actually repurposing the metal plate if it's in good shape, and we're reprinting over that in-house, saving time and money to our taxpayers. So you'll be seeing the new legislation reflected on these new signs.
So just to dovetail off that, something that I have wanted for many years, and I spoke to the supervisor about this, is standardizing our private road signs, right?
That's on the list, yes.
Yeah, so basically, back when 911 came in, right, and 1999 timeframe, where we had any parcel that had 3 or more structures on it became a private road, right? We initially had those reverse white with green writing signs put up, that go back to the original.
Yes.
The problem is that as new private road signs have gone up, they have not been standardized. So you have Alpine Drive is different,
Brown.
Randolph Avenue,
Yes.
Lauren Way, right? So for me, as a first responder, it's a little challenging when we're trying to find a street, especially a private road that may not be on a GPS. So what we're going to do is standardize these private roads. We're gonna have to do it in phases, in-house, making sure that the size of the sign and the font are now consistent with today's standards. And I know that we've talked about perhaps incorporating the PVT for private, so that folks that are cruising around on a Sunday aren't driving down private roads, on their Sunday drive, because your GPS sometimes doesn't distinguish if it's a public road or a private road. So we're gonna be working on that. It's not something that's gonna happen overnight, but it's something we're gonna put our sign shop to use on, which will improve public safety, because some of these private roads are a little challenging to navigate. We're working on an issue right now at Easter Road and Circle Drive, which one of them's public, one of them's private, and we'll just say the private one does not meet any specs or standards. So we have to kind of almost create a detour so that emergency services can get to where they need to go there. So these are things going on behind the scenes, and I thought it was relevant to mention with the sign shop discussion. Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you. And again, we are working across the town on obviously updating these signs, and we had noted that was a condition of the sign shop, was making sure that we definitely get the private road signs updated.
Thank you.
Also piggybacking on that, activity in the first ward, the Reese Park Bridge over the Hunter Creek, we reported the bridge is in. There was just work that was done this past week in terms of the footings over there, so it continues to move slowly. Again, just for those who continue to reach out to my office and to the town, this is labor that is essentially being donated by the GC. We have to pay for materials and things like that, but the labor itself is GC that is donating its time, so we're moving at that volunteer schedule. So we do hope to finalize that relatively quickly, and we hope that you'll bear with us as we continue to wrap up that project.
GC meaning general contractor.
General contractor, yes. We had a very exciting event last Friday in town where one of the staples of our community, a destination, Adams Ferricker Farms, celebrated its re-grand opening. Adams is a great community partner and obviously a great employer for many of our residents, a great place to shop for many of our residents. And we were proud to have worked with them through the planning process and get them through swiftly in the remodel of their store. It was definitely one of the largest ribbon cuttings I'd ever been invited to, and it was definitely very impressive to see the overall community support behind that amazing local business. So huge shout out to the Adams family for continuing to be local focused, community minded, and congratulations to them on the reopening of their Wappinger store. And obviously, folks, as we noted at the beginning of this meeting, early voting is going on here at Wappinger Town Hall until November 2nd. I encourage everyone to take advantage of that. Election Day is November 4th. And something that is new this year to Dutchess County is that Town of Wappinger residents will be able to vote on Election Day at any Town of Wappinger polling location. When I was in the county legislature, we had purchased new printers, which are currently deployed right in the main meeting room, that allows our Dutchess County Board of Elections to print ballots right on site for whatever ward you may be in. So just to put that out there, that let's say you work at Ketchum High School, but your polling place is at the Mid-Hudson Chinese Church, you're able now to walk right downstairs and vote at that location, any location in the town of Wappinger. We encourage our residents to take advantage of this new perk in town. Just to close things out too, we, at our last meeting, adopted a resolution that is working on changing zoning and continuing to preserve the quality of life of the town, trying to stop high density in the town. That's what we continue to work on. But one thing I want to note is we've had a number of meetings with property owners across the town in the past couple weeks, specifically regarding ag properties and property owners buying properties to preserve as open space. And I just wanted to close things out with that. You know, a lot of times when you think about economic development, we think about a strip mall on Route 9, we think about trying to get that rateable, right? We think about, you know, cookie cutter subdivision. But what we're seeing now are these individuals that are purchasing these beautiful pieces of property and not subdividing them and not looking to develop them in the conventional sense. They're looking to promote agriculture. So Councilman Beal and I had a conversation about one on 9D, that they're looking to restart a farm that was there many, many years ago. There's another property on Brown Road that they're looking to preserve in perpetuity and ensure that that is maintained as a forever parcel, but also coming up with innovative ways of operating these sites, whether that's with bed and breakfasts or with agro-tourism and things like that, that create destinations in our town and that create places that our residents are proud to visit. And it allows these property owners to keep these properties not subdivided and not developed in that conventional sense, but rather in a more attractive sense that enhances your quality of life, that increases your property values, and you know, makes Wappinger a place that you want to live in. So these are properties that you're going to continue to hear about over the course of the next coming months. We're very excited to hear about some of these different initiatives. You know, we've seen one that's been very successful at Over Creek Farm, where that land has been preserved and developed now as a farm stand and brewery. And we're going to continue to do that model across the town wherever we can. So I just wanted to share that since that has been taking up a lot of my time. It's been something that's been very exciting here in Town Hall. So with that, I will turn it over to the First Ward.
Thank you. So as the supervisor mentioned, we had a tragedy in town last night on Smith Crossing Road. Thankfully, no humans lost their lives. Tragically, the pets did not survive. But this was a single-family home, total loss, and being there from the beginning and witnessing the impact on this family was heartbreaking. This was a situation where the residents were not home at the time that this began, and by the time the neighbors knew that there was a fire, it was way ahead of any control. So there likely will be a GoFundMe out there for this family. We'll make sure we get behind this family and do our best to promote that. Couldn't imagine going through that. What I will say is it was a Sunday evening last night. New Hackensack and Houstonville initially on scene with a significant amount of manpower or personnel, and as a leader on the fire scene, standing next to the New Hackensack fire chief, looking at our town's first responders. Many of these individuals are younger, and it's really reassuring to see the next generation stepping up in our volunteer fire department, and that was very evident last night. I don't know if I'm just getting older. That's probably true. But looking out at the younger guys, really giving it their all, and there were a lot of challenges. Live power lines down, active propane tank explosions, and these individuals are putting their own personal safety at risk. And our job as the old guys is to make sure everybody goes home, right? And mature. I'm 49. Am I old yet?
No.
Okay. So that said, our thoughts with that family, and luckily nobody was injured last night either. So again, these things happen in our town, and we get behind as a community to do what we can. And I appreciate Howie was out there, fire inspector was out last night, back this morning.
Yeah. What happened this
Our
morning?
code enforcement personnel were engaged right from the beginning.
Yes.
And shout out to our Dutchess County Sheriff's Office patrol that was assigned the call. New York State Police also arriving to assist. As you can imagine, that entire roadway was closed for an extended amount of time. So again, our thoughts with that family, and thank you to our first responders. CIS preparedness training was successful here last 2 weeks. What is it? 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, already. Wow. We had the evening session, which we had a good amount of people here for, and then the senior center. I got notified from some members of our senior center. Obviously, they don't drive or don't come out at night, right? And it gets dark early, so we did it was supposed to be a shorter version, but it actually was just as long, right, Jessica? If you missed it, again, it's still streaming, and it's also on the government channel. It's a good program to help prepare yourself and your family for major emergencies or disasters, and it's a program that has been in existence since 2015. So thank you to those that attended that. My thanks to the supervisor and our buildings and grounds personnel for the navigation of this Reese Park Bridge, which is a big project, right? We actually, the supervisor and I were down there before this bridge was replaced, looking at the footings that, the footings definitely had to be replaced.
Non-existent in some
Yeah,
areas.
it was not structurally sound. A lot of erosion back there just by natural flow of water. And who's the contractor again? It's
Billy Schweiber.
Billy Schweiber, who is the same individual who filled in that crater on the property on South Avenue there, 9D.
Donated his time for that as well.
Yeah, that was a huge hole, probably an old foundation from back in the day when we took that building down. He volunteered his time to fill that hole in, which leveled out that property. So now he's assisting with this bridge project, which is no small project. This is a major construction project, and it's going to essentially reconnect one side of Hunter Creek to the other side of Hunter Creek, right? So thank you for your work on that. A lot of these things happen in the daytime, right? And some of us are working in the daytime. But
Keep it moving.
you guys definitely keep us in the loop, and I appreciate that. So thank you for your hard work to all of our staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
So, Halloween's coming up. Everybody, be careful of the little guys that are going to be out there. All those kids are going to be dressed in black. They're going to be dressed in all different colors, but please be careful. Hopefully, the weather will not be as bad as they're predicting. They're saying a nor'easter's coming up the coast. If that happens, please be prepared. As Councilman Beal told us, that this emergency video that you have out there is very, very good for everybody to take a look at, for any emergency that can happen. And knowing where we live, we had a microburst a couple years ago that people never saw here before. So this is a good thing to look at. Have your family, your friends, check it out. It's really very beneficial. We turn the clocks back on the 1st, so everybody's going to get that extra night of sleep. The other thing is, we have to be prepared for that. Driving is going to be a little iffy. It's going to be different. It's going to be dark. Please take that into consideration when you're out. Breast Cancer Month. People, you know what you have to do. It can save your life. Just go and see your physician. It's very important. There's nothing worse than not doing something that can prevent it and help you and help your family. So, Jessica, I heard it was a wonderful thing for trick-or-treaters. It was absolutely great, you and your team. Sorry I couldn't make it, but good job as always. And I'll hand it off to the third ward.
With the colder weather coming on us, and Councilman Beal will chime in, I'm sure, I've noticed a lot of my neighbors are starting to burn firewood. A lot of residents do. Please have your chimney swept if it hasn't been done. There's numerous fires every year because they just haven't had that done. It's important. We know with the cost of energy these days, everybody's burning wood, so please be careful. Also, our other high school, John Jay, congratulations. They won their section in football. They beat my hometown of Mamaroneck. So congratulations to them and to Coach Rev, who was a pastor. He was here. So that's what I got.
Thank you, Councilman.
Just one thing with respect to burning, so we can't burn leaves here in the town of Wapacher, okay? We have a population that puts us in a category where you can't have open burning, right? So don't burn leaves. You shouldn't really be burning anything that is inconsistent with the DEC guidelines that are in our code, right? So if you have a small campfire in your backyard, make sure it's consistent with our code, which is approximately 36 inches in diameter and not higher than 36 inches, right? So if you're cooking s'mores, you're good, but don't have a bonfire in your backyard. There's a lot of leaves out there, and your neighbors don't want to smell your leaves that are burning. They will call, and then we're going to come out, and unfortunately, it's going to be the end of the party for you. So don't take that chance. It's still very dry, and those leaves go up in the air, and they land on people's houses, so let's not do that.
The other thing is, make sure you have your furnaces checked and winterized, and make sure you have the gas and the oils machines checked. That's very important.
And make sure you have carbon monoxide detectors
Yes.
that work in your home. This is the time of year where your furnace may not burn
Exactly.
properly, and you want to make sure you have working carbon monoxide detectors on each floor of your
Yes.
house. Thank you.
Very important. Sorry. Go
That's
ahead.
okay, that's fine. So, just want to touch
Do you have
base on
anything that
it.
you want to add, Councilman?
Yeah, I do, actually, you
Oh.
said a lot of things already,
Oh, okay.
Joey, but the trunk or treat, we had about 400 kids out there, which was an amazing number of children to have out there. As you said, the Haunted Mansion was very, very nice. We
Yes.
gave out the Golden Pumpkin Awards as well, so Joey and I were up on the stage, but we also actually decorated our trunks too, so it was kind of cool handing out candy to kids. From a roll-up truck perspective, we talked about this, Joey and I saw that today, that they'll be ready in about 2 to 3 weeks is what they said. We're looking forward to that. We actually have somebody from the company willing to help us out, to help our guys get trained on how to use the new equipment, but it's a beautiful piece of equipment. It's gonna start saving us money. We're already actually saving money with some of the scrap metal and things that we are collecting today. So again, it's already kind of starting to pay for itself. As you talked about the sign shop, one of the things they are doing, which is also saving us money, now in addition to putting up the new signs, they're using the old signs, and they're able to go over the top of the old signs, so they actually save the metal, so it's actually a great thing. I'm sure you probably said that too. The other couple of things is that at Smith Crossing, as Bill talked about, very fortunate that no people were injured, but the pets actually were killed as they were stuck inside, so it's unfortunate. And as far as the accident on Myers, I was actually at that location when it happened. A number of police cars, ambulances, et cetera. It was a really, really bad accident. They made us go down Spook Hill Road to go around it, so very sorry for those that were involved in that. I will also tell you that, want to wish everybody actually a happy Halloween, because that's coming up as well. Be safe with the kids, et cetera. Make sure that, parents are there with flashlights, et cetera, because daylight savings does come on the 1st. And as far as the bridge goes, last thing I'll talk about is we actually saw the bridge up today when we were at the highway garage. The actual bridge itself is actually there. And
Isn't it a solid bridge?
Yeah, it's huge. I was going to walk on it, but I figured don't take a chance.
You could have done that.
Anyway, again, wishing everybody a happy Halloween, as the supervisor said, and Bill also said, don't forget it's early voting, so get out there and vote till the 2nd. Here again at Town Hall, different times that you need to take a look at, and then again, Election Day is November 4th. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
There's no pickleball update? I was waiting for the pickleball update.
We changed the light times to be reflective of the schedule in the parks and the obvious time change and the sun going down sooner, so that's
All right, now-
about it.
The only change I have to say about that is I'm glad that you decided to come out and challenge me. So
Oh,
thank you.
hey, slow down.
Mike's got to be there for that.
Mike's going to be taping that one.
We'll get there.
Mike taped me wearing dress shoes against Al, so anyway. Okay, seeing no further business to come before the town board, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Moved by Councilman Casella, second by Councilman Phillips, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.